we're going to do. So this meeting is 60 minutes, and then we're going to have a follow-up 30-minute meeting. Okay. Since you bought like the single session, that way we can like make any changes we need to make in the 30-minute meeting so that you have some time to experiment with it. Cause it's not like a end all be all. It's going to be like, we make revisions today and then you play around with it, experiment with it, check your energy, things like that, see what's productive, what's not productive. And then in that next meeting, we'll make any changes we need to make. Make sense?
Cool. Is there any way I can eat also while we're doing this? Cool.
I'm
Dude,
gonna
my friend made me sourdough, and it is literally like love in it's the most delicious thing I've ever had in my life. So a perfect example of like 11 o'clock just now eating.
I love sourdough. My neighbor Carol, she's like 82. She's a doll. She made me some. Hers was horrible. It was very sweet of her. It was so bad.
What did it taste like? It was just bad.
It was just like so crumbly and like dry. Like it wasn't. It like
it shouldn't be crumbly or dry.
Yeah, she like must have missed a step, but it was very sweet. She was like, "I made this." I was like, "Thank you."
Damn.
Okay. So mostly today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create this schedule, but for the majority, I'm gonna be asking you a million questions. Okay, so now I didn't get your schedule, so let's do that first. Run me through just like generally what your schedule looks like, so that I can kind of ask questions from there.
Okay, so my main focus and goal is to really clear up Tuesdays and Thursdays completely. I've done an okay job so far, but I really want to focus on like homeschool things with the girls.
Okay.
And I've noticed that I also do best when I go really hard and then have days off. So what is bad for me is to work like 4 to 5 hours every single day. I really hate that. Okay, so Monday.
Why do you hate it?
I feel like I never get a break.
Okay.
I enjoy like off time, like actually clocked out time. It doesn't feel good to me to work like 4 or 5 hours and then have like the afternoon because I feel like I've worked all day. It could be conditioning from working as a nurse for 11 years of working like 12-hour shifts. When I'm on, I'm really on, and when I'm off, I'm really off. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what you're saying is when you work like a half day, that doesn't make you feel good.
I do not, because I feel like I've worked already.
Okay. So you would
and then also
just get it all done in one day.
Yeah. So like I much more value, like I know Alex is like, if you're gonna take days off, whatever. Like I respond to my chats, but like Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have no student calls whatsoever. It's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, no student calls whatsoever.
Okay. And then
but that also means that on Monday, it's like, hellacious.
On Mondays, from what time do you start your student calls and what time do you stop?
10 to 5.
Oh my God.
But like, so 2:30 to 3:30 is a break. So you could just do like 2 to 3.
Okay. And then what about on Wednesday? Same thing.
Wednesday is like, 10 to 5. But like sometimes it's like broken up a little bit. Like I'll have 2 and then a break, 2 and then a break, and then like 3 more.
Okay.
So 10 to 5 also.
And you'd still take a break around 2:33.
Yep.
Okay, break. And then Fridays.
Balls to the wall usually.
Okay.
10 to 5. But also include the 12 o'clock mindset call.
Okay. And then talk to me about, and you work out at 6 a.m., correct?
So like today I was running late because I was so tired. So I didn't get there till like 8.
Okay.
But
But
I love
generally,
I love to work out. I would say no later than 7. I would say I get to the gym between 6 and 7.
okay. Work out. And how many days a week do you work out?
I feel like that's something that I need to address also. To be honest, I feel like I probably could switch those. I can't tell if I can switch those to like maybe I should only work out Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
What are you doing currently?
I'm currently doing a 4-day split. I'm currently working out Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, workout Thursday, Friday.
Okay, so that's where we're gonna
But
put
it's
it.
not optimal. I do
Okay.
not feel optimal there.
And then okay, so Tuesday. Workout. And then when are your meetings for your business?
They just fit in wherever. So sometimes I mean, they're literally everywhere. So sometimes I take them, they're everywhere.
Okay. They're not on a specific day.
Mm-mm.
And when do you do your client check-ins?
Mm. My clients check in on Sundays and Wednesdays. So that puts me doing check-ins on Mondays and Thursdays. But that's another issue too, because I'm oftentimes 9 o'clock at night still doing check-ins.
Okay, that makes sense. And then what time do you go to bed?
Mm. I like to be in bed. Optimal is like 9:30.
Okay.
Much more often though, like 11.
Okay. Okay. And then on the weekends, what are you doing? Is that dependent on if you have the girls or don't have the girls?
Um, I have them every single Saturday.
Okay.
So I also take calls on Sunday. It is available, but oftentimes I don't have calls on Sundays.
And is that just in case like you need to make somebody up?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But
And
like for example, like when I went to Jenny's thing, I had to take calls on Sundays to prepare for that. So that's like my floating day that I sometimes have to work on Sundays, but usually I don't. Like Sunday the 3rd, I had 2 student calls. Sunday the 26th, girl was slammed because I had to make up for shit. You see what I'm saying?
that was me on
But
Tuesday.
usually my Sundays are open usually.
Okay, but oh, okay, usually open. Okay. Now, um, on Tuesdays, since you don't have student calls, you do have the girls. So is it just completely blocked off to do girl things with the girls, or is it
Well, I
is
have coaches meeting. I have coaches meeting obviously at 9
oh, it's 9 your time.
CST. Yeah.
What else do you have
Um,
going Tuesdays?
yeah, that's pretty much it. I would like to get to a place that I'm building out marketing more consistently. It's like I sneak in reels and talking on stories just like in between things.
Okay. Okay. And then out with this schedule, what is the thing that stresses you out most?
Mm. I would say squeezing in client check-ins
Okay.
and not being fully present because like a lot of times like example this exact meeting is technically on my off day that I'm supposed to be like fully focused with the girls.
Okay. Okay, so squeezing things in on
Mhm.
days you originally planned to block off.
Mhm.
Okay. And then what drains your energy the most?
Check-ins.
Like you just hate them or they're just like they
Um,
take a lot out
well,
of
it's like okay, so imagine that I've taken student calls all day long. My clients have checked in on Monday, so I'm responding on Tuesdays. um it's hard for me to I feel like what did I do on Tuesday? It was like supposed to be an off-ish day, but I ended up with like a fuck ton of things because then it's like, okay, so this Tuesday I had the coaches meeting and then I had my one-to-one with Jen. And like oftentimes I'll have to like reschedule a student, take an extra student call. And then like in the afternoons, like I feel like all these like onesie twosie things are like they take up my time, even if it's a 30-minute meeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So little
Do you
things
ever feel like,
get in the way.
yeah, do you ever feel like that? Like, even though it's a 30-minute meeting and it technically didn't take that long, it's like I had to go home, be present, like clock in basically. And like, it's not like it's not like I can be focused on doing other shit.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Mm.
So, okay. And then when you wake up in the morning, how do you
Mm.
usually feel? Now, I know you are working through like some health stuff. So obviously like that's kind of affecting your energy, but just, taking that in with this, like, how are you feeling when you wake up in the morning?
If I go to bed at like 9:30, I wake up feeling amazing.
Okay.
Um, Going through all the insanity of like traveling and doing all this shit. Dude, the last like couple of months between like my uncle dying and like Thanksgiving and being out of town, and it was just a lot. And so I'm really, really excited and looking forward to like super chill for a while.
Mm.
Mhm.
And when you go to bed, what's kind of
Mhm.
like your bedtime routine?
Mm. In a perfect world, I love to take a hot bath,
Me too.
get in bed, listen to an audiobook or read.
Mhm.
Mm. I really love to watch gardening shows on YouTube. I know it's weird, but like it's the most serene thing ever. Like in a completely dark room, like watching someone garden. It's like truly like it sets my soul on fire. I can't tell you the happiness that I get from that.
I love that so much. That's
Pure
so
dopamine.
I that's amazing. Okay. But currently the check-ins have been just like swamping you. So this hasn't been happening.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And then in an ideal world, what would your schedule look like?
Mm. I feel my absolute freaking best when I'm at the gym before 6, like walking in at 6 o'clock, get my workout in and get my steps in. I love to start my day at 10 with like 10K steps, workout in, I already ate breakfast, and I'm like work mode. Like I am a compartmentalizing girly. I love to do like gym shit, check. Mom things, not to mention like I also literally like try my very best to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner for my children. So it's like, making quality meals for my kids and like being able to sit down with them is ideal.
Okay. And then at the end of the day,
At least dinner. Like we try to have dinner together. In
okay.
a perfect world, I like to cook together and like we'll clean up the entire kitchen and shut down the kitchen. And we've like made a meal together, like planned it even the night before, and then we'll make the meal. Like we had chicken chili and sourdough. It was freaking amazing. It hit so hard. And the night before we had like spaghetti squash and chicken and broccoli. And so like we'll make it all together and clean up the kitchen together. I really love to have that time with them. Um, Wednesday we had had pancakes. Like we did like a brunch together. It was great.
Oh, that's amazing. You're such a good mom.
I try, dude. Try really
Okay.
hard.
Okay, and then and you like how you have the NLCA student calls now. It's kind of the other things that are kind of like not sure where to put them.
Yeah, and if I'm being honest, like I feel like I'm a pretty good coach, and like talking about buckets, it's like I seem to get like really good feedback from the students, and Alex seems to be happy, and I'm hitting my KPIs. Like I'm not complaining about my job. I'm doing pretty good at it apparently. But it's like the other things that I really wish I could be doing a more high quality experience with. Like I want to be more intentional with like traveling with my kids. I want to really be able to like sink my teeth into the flexibility of homeschool life, which was the whole purpose. Like I know I've made a huge transition in the last 2.5 years. I went from you know, working in a hospital for 12 hours a day, transitioning over to working full time at home, then transitioning over to like homeschooling my kids. And I just feel like I could continue to further optimize that between like, I want to work in the garden and do like homestead projects with them. I want to make meals with them and also be really intentional with like planning trips to go places that are gonna like just a more overall enriched experience, you know?
Okay.
Like try to be more intentional. Like I know like everybody's like, you're such a good mom, but I do feel like I could do a better job. Like right now, the laundry's not caught up at all. My house is like, I would give myself a C plus for how clean it is.
Okay.
It's a it's just a lot to juggle, like keeping everything clean, tidy, organized, meals cooked, you know.
Yeah, I get that.
Yep.
I do get that. I will say though, like from someone who had, I will like you. I say you're a good mom. My mom never made me a meal, or we never ate a dinner together or
Same.
anything like that. So I just think
Same.
it's beautiful. And like, I know your girls probably don't know anything different, but it's just like such a lucky experience to have that people like want to sit down and eat with you instead of being like, your existence literally bothers me. So I think that's just this, it's really makes me, it's so sweet. Okay.
I've never growing up, I never had a meal that my siblings and my parents and I sat down at the table. Never one time ever. Never. We had that at my grandparents' house and like their death even 20 years ago is still something that I like mourn every day because I feel like that's I'm forever chasing that level of like connection and presence.
Yeah, no, I'm not to get on a tangent, but Austin and I were literally talking last night. I was like, my granny like made sure I had all these special memories because we were talking about what's our favorite thing about Christmas last night. And I was like my mom never really did. I'm like, and my granny was like, let's make a gingerbread house. Let's make stained glass. Let's make these cookies. We're going to do this and we're going to do this and we're going to do just to make sure I had all. So it's just like, I can really.
I feel that so hard and like they don't have cell phones and I feel like I get sort of like harassed about like the shit that they're not allowed to do or eat or go. But also like I just hope that they remember having like pancakes and going on walks together and that I feel like it's been quite the upstream battle for me to like homeschool them in a way that's proper and I'm not doing the best job at it right now. Like they follow an online curriculum and I really want to improve that. So I feel like that's an area of improvement for me for sure.
Okay. So since you brought up the buckets, what would you say? Like Chad doesn't know the order of these buckets. Like no one else, like what would your ideal bucket order be if there was no like pressure to be one thing?
Mm. So I feel like let's see. I think that career is one of them. Oh, you got career, fitness, relationships. Hmm. Career, fitness, relationships. Dude, I know I feel like I wish more people would normalize the struggle that it is for a single mom to like manage a household, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard. My house is 2,600 square feet, trying to like keep it clean and keep laundry done and keep everything like tidy and organized and like smelling good. And I have two dogs and like one of them shits in the laundry room occasionally. It's like, so is household a bucket? I don't know. Is like
Environment?
daily environment. Yeah. Or like just like I feel like we as a nurse we call them ADLs. It's like activities of daily living, including like brushing my teeth, Emily, shaving my legs. That is an actual it's like a genuine struggle for me to do like
Yeah.
self-care tasks like I know all my friends are like so good about like their skincare and their la la la. I'm so empty when it comes to that. That's why I literally look like this. That's why I'm like makeup hat on, no makeup. Yeah. So like activities of daily living, including like date like self-care and hygiene and cleaning my house.
Okay. All right. Okay, this gives me a lot to work with. So just a couple of things to talk about. So part of energetic scheduling is your human design. And I know that human design is like another freaking language in itself. And it's like, what the hell am I even looking at? So I want to give you just a little bit of it today, and that's how we're going to start your energetic schedule. But I'm also going to give you a Loom video going over your human design, because I truly believe it's been transformative to me and my schedule and how I operate. And so just a little bit, just of all the things you're saying, and just because I have had the beautiful privilege of getting to know you this past year, it all makes so much sense. This just like makes so much sense. So you are a generator, and it's so funny when you describe a generator. So, okay, human design is the science of the differentiation between all of us, and your energy type is your aura, which you fully understand.
Can you play that back one more time? The human design is
The science of the differentiation between all of us.
okay.
So your energy type, which is this, is your aura, the energy that other people experience and the energy you bring into the world, right? And there are 5 energy types, right? I won't go into all of them, but yours is called a generator, okay? And so generators, and it's so funny the description you use, because it's actually words that you, Lacey, use all the time. And generators are the sparkly, juicy, like people in the world. They have big energy that other people want a taste of, right? And they're here to literally just like make shit happen. You are here to make shit happen. You are also here to like just hone your craft. Whatever that craft is, you are meant to like solidify it, go all in it, be that. And generator, your big energy doesn't mean extrovert or introvert. It just means the energy that you put out. Like you're like a super battery. You're like that's why you're so magnetizing. Generators are like the most magnetizing people. And it's actually hilarious because Alex is also a generator and Kayla is also a generator. So you guys like feed.
Jenny's also a generator.
Yeah, so you guys like feed off of each other's like sparkly juiciness that everybody wants a piece of, right? And it makes so much sense because I'm sure your entire life you've always had people who like want to get to know you, want to be around you, want to be your friend, want to experience you, because your aura is literally screaming juicy, sparkly, amazing magnetism all around, right? And as someone on the outside, I can totally attest to that. All of you are sparkly, different sparkles, but so sparkly that you're like, give me some, I need it. Now, each generator is a little bit different, but the most important thing as a generator is to listen to your mother effing gut. That is your inner authority. So your inner authority is how you make this big life decisions and how you just move through life. You use that sacral center, not to be associated with chakras. It's just called that. But anything that's colored in, the colors don't matter. The colors just means that energy from those centers comes from within you. So in my Loom, I'm going to go over each of these centers and what they specifically mean to you. The white centers are your empathic centers. It's also ironic that all of your white centers are centers that like this is your emotional centers, why you can feel so deeply of other people, right? You also have this colored in, which means it makes sense, Lacey, how you know when you enter a room, yes or no, I need to leave, absolutely not, no, yes, that's what this center says to you.
Where is it? Point to it with your mouse, please.
Right here, this one.
Oh, let's see. Okay.
And so people who have this are just like you, right? Like when you came to visit me and we walked in, you're like, no, not the vibe, not the thing, right? And but you're also, if I'm like expressing deep.
Oh, we did do that. I was like, where were we? I don't even remember this. Oh, at like a restaurant?
Yeah, you're like,
oh,
no,
yeah.
Bad vibe.
Yeah, I do that. I do that often. It's like, oh no, nope.
That's this. This is your spleen, and it tells you it's your energy center. That's no. It knows. It's like, bam, yes, bam, no. The cool part is your sacral authority is actually directly connected here. So think of this like electricity. If this is colored in and this is colored in, there is a directly connected energetic connection there. So your gut and your spleen are like homies, and your gut is like tells you this is for me, this is not for me, and your spleen is like this is safe, this is good, this is what we need. What with this, with the generator, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, and you need to live by that. Like with every little thing that you do, it needs to be hell yes or hell no. That's just how you operate. And so
Dude, that is so I feel this so hard. This is so good. Emily, you're so smart. I'm soaking this up. You're so smart.
Thanks.
I feel
So
like you know my soul right now.
it's the wildest thing with human design. I feel like it's just like it's in so huge. And so the other thing that how we apply this to your schedule, right? And the reason I feel like you get lost in the sauce, right? You get this like the energy I read from you when you're like, Emily, I'm drowning in all the things. I can't do this, I can't do that, is because it's like the gut isn't giving the opportunity to adjust to the things that make the most sense for you. So what I mean by that is like when we're deciding your energetic schedule, you need when we're practicing it, it needs to be, is this a hell yes or is this a hell no? And if it's a hell no, we have to pivot or you're going to continually feel your light being dimmed. The common challenge of a generator is really like people pleasing because people love your sparkly energy and you notice that people benefit from your sparkling energy. So then you're like, oh, I'll just keep doing that thing because they find it helpful. But it wasn't a hell yes, but you were doing it because you know, and people don't mean it maliciously, right? People aren't doing it in a harmful way. They're saying, Lacey, like, you're amazing at this. Can I have some?
I'm gonna record you saying that. Say it again, Emily, because you're a genius. Okay.
The
Okay,
people
go.
part.
The energy part.
So, okay, so as a generator, you have the sparkliest, juiciest, most amazing energy that everybody wants a piece of. Like they're literally like, oh my God, can I please have some of that? And so, as a generator, because people want that energy and they don't mean it in a bad way, you end up people pleasing because you're like, they benefit from that. They liked that. And then you feel guilty because it wasn't a hell yes and it was a hell no. And so you will actually benefit people more when you stick to your boundaries of hell yeses and hell nos, because the hell yeses, when those people like receive that sparkle from you, they're going to feel like, oh my God, she like just blessed me with like sparkles instead of like, oh, like she did that out of obligation. Does that make sense?
That is, I could cry right now. I feel like you know my entire soul. Thank you, Emily. You're so good. You're so smart. You're so smart, Emily. People don't know that you're this smart. I feel like people don't know that. I feel like you're low key super genius and people don't know.
Well,
I'm so serious. People don't know that.
Well, my human design as a projector is not yours. So when I'm around you as a projector, I ride the waves of your energy. So my chart is very different than your chart and in how the energetic centers work. I don't have this center. So everyone who has this center colored in, sacral energy is life force energy, creativity, desire, do, make things happen, create, all of these things. I don't have that. It's not that I can't have that. I hang out with people like you and I get it. And then it's not mine though. So I have to retreat. I have inconsistent energy. You have long lasting energy. That's why you can go for 6 hours doing student calls, where if I do 4 hours of student calls, I want to literally crawl in a hole and never speak to another person ever again for the rest of my life because it's too much. It was why, like, as a waitress, I didn't have any friends because I would work 12 hours as a waitress and then go in my room and not leave, like, or go to the beach all day and never talk to, like, why I didn't have any friends because I was like, I literally have nothing else to give. Where you have that, it comes from within you. You also have this center here. This is why we can use this to your schedule, to your advantage. This is your
Do it again.
This one, we can
I don't
use
see
it.
your mouse. Oh, there we go.
It's so like, I don't know why it's not like a normal mouse. It's like this one.
Oh, yes. Okay. Got it.
This is your root center. So we're going to use this in your schedule to your benefit because this center, this is why you probably did really, really well as a nurse. This center handles pressure well. You're able to handle pressure. You're able to handle external deadlines. If Alex is like, get this done by this time, you're like, done, easy. Alex is like, get this done by this time. I'm in panic. I'm like, I can't handle external pressure well. I don't have this colored in. You
I
can.
was just telling the guy that I'm talking to right now, people love to ask me, like, their number one question people ask me is like, do you miss being a nurse? That's like all the fucking time people ask me that. And in the sickest way, I can't say this like publicly, but I desperately miss like people going into like asystole, people's like heart stopping. I miss that because in the sickest way, like everything, like I could like zoom in so hard and like everything slows down and I would get this like calm about me and I would feel like I could absolutely run the code immediately. I'd have been
Yeah.
like, hey, I want you to lower the head of the bed and start compressions. I need someone else to grab the crash cart and the AED right away. I want you to go and page the doctor immediately. I want you to go page the code team. Let's go. And it
Yes.
was just like immediately, I was like in this like beautiful flow state. And I could tell you numerous stories of like coding a patient, which is very violent, by the way. There's like chest compressions going on, carts coming in, x-rays there, all these things, all these people are trying to do shit. Nobody could get a line for this patient. And we needed to give IV medicine desperately. It was like absolutely emergent. And I remember I was like on my knees. I'm trying to start an IV. There's blood everywhere. It's a dead man. And he's just got his arms out and they're trying to like intubate him, trying to breathe for him. They're giving compressions. They're doing all this shit. And I remember, Emily, like everything's slowing down. It was like something out of a movie. And I like put this line into this man immediately. And it was just like music happened. And it was like, anyway,
No.
I miss that. I miss dying people. I miss taking care of like emergency dying people.
And I mean, that makes sense because this center is like people who have this colored in, like Austin has his colored in, and he was a police officer in the military, like guarding nukes and like literally love military training of like people
Yes.
are shooting you now. And he like, it was no big
Amazing.
deal. Yeah.
Right.
And so people have this colored in, like that makes sense. It also, if you're able to and because you're a generator, this is why you're like a powerhouse, while how you can run a business, you have all these things that you're doing because the pressure is something that you can handle. It's the organization piece that's the problem, right? It's not that you can't do it all, it's just the system you're using isn't working.
You know my entire soul. Like data, numbers, spreadsheets, organizations. Natalie, now that Natalie doesn't work for me anymore, it's like, what do I even do? I need a Natalie so bad.
And I would say like Natalie could have probably, I'm not going to assume, but so I'm a projector. Projectors are the guides and they help bring efficiency to the world. So you're in the trees. Okay. You're like hacking the trees, running the forest, making the things, doing the stuff. I am above the trees. I see the bigger picture and I can see like, oh, Lacey, you should probably go to the left because that would actually get you to the tree that you want to cut down faster. That's kind of
Love
like
that.
how we operate. And
Love
so
that.
if you have people in your life that you're like that just make things more efficient for you or whatever, they're probably a projector because that's what a projector does. So
My best friend Aubrey Ann, she says, she's like, Lacey, you need a highly skilled handler. You need a fucking manager. You need someone that can handle you and help you do the shit. Because I do, like, I fucking love doing the shit. I feel like I'm a workhorse. I can do fucking anything. I love deadlines. I love the pressure. My counselor says I love the trauma. She's like, the intensity. That's why I was drawn to Nate. He was just fucking intense as hell. And so it's like I'm drawn to the drama and the trauma of things. And the more intense it is, and the more like hard hitting it is, the better. And when I worked as a nurse, like I worked in trauma surgery for 9 years, you know what I mean? And then like labor and delivery at a level 1 trauma center, we were delivering, dying, bleeding patients, moms and babies. So I desperately need a Natalie. That makes my life so much better. Even Chad said that. He was like, you need to hire someone. He was like, I would not recommend this to anyone else. When we were doing our one-to-ones, Chad and I, he was like, you need someone to manage data, numbers, and spreadsheets because you need to focus like your energy on your gifts,
yeah.
and you need someone to help you with the fucking organization of shit because I am not that person.
Yeah. Yeah. And you do. And it's not because you don't know where you're going. You do know where you're going. You have this. This means you know who you are. You know what direction you're going in life. You may not know exactly what it's going to look like, but you know like where you're going. And the more that you can trust your gut on the doing, the more that you will get there instead of getting lost in the things that just that aren't yours to control, essentially. And so how we're going to apply this to your schedule is to the gifts that you already have and to your strategy. Your strategy is to respond. Okay. And so what that means, if you listen to your energy type, your inner authority, and your strategy, Lacey, you're going to feel transformed because you're living in alignment into like to your soul. So what that means is to respond does not mean go out in the world and find things to respond to. No, it means literally trust that God is putting the right things in your life to respond to. And the way to respond to them is with that gut. Hell yes or hell no. And you can do it in small ways. The smallest ways are literally like coffee or tea, sweatpants or yoga pants. It's like responding is also if you open your fridge and there's the leftover Chinese food from yesterday and your gut's like, oh, I want that so bad. You eating that is a response in alignment with your gut, right? And so it's these little responses that help with the big responses. So when it comes to your schedule and you're experimenting with it and trying it out, it's going to be like, is this a hell yes or a hell no? And am I forcing something instead of staying open to what God has to put into my life for me to be in alignment with my true strategy? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, we talk about this all the time. It's like, this is correct, this is not correct. It's like, this is not it, or it
yeah,
is
it
it.
makes sense
Like,
for all of you. You guys
yeah,
literally only know correct or incorrect. Like that's how you
for sure.
operate. And
Same.
generators overthink. Okay. You don't make decisions in your head. Make no overthinking decisions. That is not correct for you. Your correct thing is like, what is my gut telling me to do?
Yeah.
All
I feel
gener-
like I do know things. Like I knew it was like Travis isn't it. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work long term. And I could just feel it. And I was like, no, I know.
you do know. You do know. And people who know you should lean into that gift because like I don't have a gut. I'm actually all I have is mental. I'm all head. I'm all here. Everything about me is here. So I can think and think and think and that's how I make decisions. That is not going to be effective for you at all. So you got to get out of your head and into your body and listen to your gut because that's going to make the biggest difference. Okay.
Okay.
So when it comes to your schedule, some things that I'm already seeing, being the person above the trees, right? You're in the thick of it, doing all the things, is there's like a couple things that just don't make sense. So, for example, just like a couple of things that don't make sense to me that I would love to hear more on you because this is your life, not mine. So, these are just things that I would suggest. But, like, one, client check ins are the thing you literally hate the most. So, how could we move this so you're not doing client check ins on the same day you do student calls?
I guess I could have them my only, I guess my effort was to try to make the things so that I could free up more space. Like I love to be off or on. You know what I'm saying?
And that
Maybe I should on Mondays, maybe I should start student calls at noon so that I could have 2 hours to do all check-ins.
that's smart. Yeah, let's do that.
Is that doable? Just because like what I don't want, I was like, at first I thought to myself, I could have them check in on Saturday and I could respond on Sunday, but that takes my Sunday away. In a perfect world, Emily, I want to be in the garden. I want to go on walks with my kids. In an even more perfect world, I want to be on a road trip. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we're exploring, we're in Yosemite. You know what I mean? Like in a perfect world, that's what I envision for myself.
Good.
And so I don't want to, it's a fucking nightmare. It gives me panic attacks. It made me want to quit my job. That's where I was at, like trying to quit my job, calling Alex crying, like I'm ready to quit when I was doing shit every single day.
Yeah.
It was like, you're working 4 hours every single day, but you have no real days off. And it's like, well, you're only working 4 hours, but it made me
It's too much.
crazy.
Yeah.
Because
No,
I need to be able to like turn off.
no, I get it. I do understand that. And that makes sense too, because you want to pour your energy. You don't want to separate your energy into two tasks in a day. Like if you want to take your girls to the museum, the pressure of not saying you can't handle that pressure, but then in the back of your head, you're thinking, okay, girls, like we got an hour, we need to get home. I got to go to this. And that makes you feel guilty.
I can't be fully present to anything when when I have to do like the mom hat and the business hat on the same day.
That's fine.
However, if I'm doing like student calls all day long, I like get them up, dressed, ready. Protein is in. Maybe they're gonna walk the dog. Their computers are charged. They're gonna clock in when I clock in, and we're gonna have a work day.
Okay. And which time would you like to stop work?
I think that it's okay to stop at uh mm. So okay, let's reverse engineer it. If I need to be in bed at 9 and I want to have dinner at 6, then I probably need to start at 5. Start cooking at 5. Just to make sure that we have dinner at 6, and that gives me 2 hours to like wind down before bed.
Okay. I know this says 2 hours, but I know it's an hour.
Yeah, well, it can be 1 hour.
And then hard.
Hard stop needs to be at 5. Yeah, on Mondays, and then they respond on so Mondays and Thursdays, I need to start work at noon so I can have time to do client check-ins.
And then the other thing I'll encourage you, the same thing I did for Emily Augustine, was like putting down the hammer on reschedules, because that's what I did, and that's made a big difference. Like if you want Sundays off, like we're not even supposed to be available Saturdays and Sundays, right? And so
Oh, but do you know that I had the no talk about not having enough? Hang on one second. Mill, are you having a hard time breathing?
Me, kind of a little bit.
Come here. Can you hear my kids sniffling from the other room?
Oh.
Can you hear? Okay, go blow your nose and take some more Sudafed. Love you.
you got in
It's
trouble?
almost been, I'm sorry, one second. I kind of in trouble. Hey, it's almost been 4 hours. You can go ahead and have some more emergency as well. Mill, you hear me? Okay. They reached out to me and they were like, we really need some game planning calls on the weekends.
I didn't get that text. I got the like, we need more help with game planning calls, and I said the earliest I can do is Wednesday. Like I will open Saturdays sometimes to certain students because it's like a student I actually like, and it wasn't a repeat offender of rescheduling. But I think it's wholly unfair to ask us to take game planning calls on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, in an ideal world, I would love to only work Monday, Wednesday, Friday for NLCA and then work on my business versus hang out with the girls Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. That'd be freaking great.
Okay, so
I'm gonna run to the bathroom for 1 second.
go ahead. This is incorrect. This workout. No check-ins on that day. That makes the most sense. And then okay. So a couple things that I think you could also do is you could move your workouts. So like if you like wanted Tuesdays to be a slower day after working so hard on Monday, like you could have this open and then you work out Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then you're off Saturday, Sunday. You could also try that. I would say though, for your workouts, play around with it and see what feels best, because like this is all like big energy. And as a generator, yes, you do have big energy, but like you said, the switching of gears could be challenging. So like if you wanted to have rest days, like where you plan on Tuesdays, like something with the girls or whatever, you're not like rushing in the morning, but it would be something to play with.
Yes, I will attempt. Like I would love to go for a walk only Monday mornings. Like maybe I should move my workouts to Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So that on heavy student call days, like I just go for a walk in the mornings. Wouldn't that be so lovely?
Yes, that'd be so fun.
Would be like so supportive of me to myself.
And then you could also, so we have dinner. I'm sure this is time to spend with girls. And then if you're getting those check-ins done in the morning, like this is where you could implement self-care, whatever that
Oh man,
wanted to be for yourself. And maybe
I would
even
love that.
have the girls have their own, like,
They're so good at it. They do their skincare and nighttime routine like they are professional TikTokers. It's incredible. They have comprehensive sets of like skincare, vanity mirror. They have like the headband thing. They have all that shit. I do not do that stuff. They do.
yeah, you need to do, I mean, not that you have to do all the skincare stuff, but it feels nice. I mean, I loved it.
I would
The-
love to. Your skin looks really good right now, also, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you doing anything fancy for it?
I not really, to be honest. I just like my esthetician, I just do a cleansing wash and just like moisturize this shit out of my face, and that's it. And then I go get well, I won't be going for a couple months because after the wedding I'm broke, but I was all year going and getting like hydrofacials, which like help cleanse your skin, which was really helpful.
Yeah. Your skin
Um,
looks like it's gotten so much better.
you that means a lot because I
It's really pretty. Mm-hmm.
been my biggest insecurity. I always
You look
hate.
very like glowy and healthy right now.
Ah, thank you. So nice. Okay, so I don't want to add anything more because the more it actually helps better if you test and experiment. So you're just going to bring like a high level of intentionality and awareness to the schedule. So if you're noticing like now we've switched, so client check-ins are first, you take a break, then you dive into student calls. Like I wanted you to check your gut. Like, how does this feel? Is this draining? Is this productive? That's how we find those at high hours of productivity. Like if you you can start to pay attention to that more by testing it out. And then pay attention throughout the week, right? Like with the adjustments that we've made, like, are you noticing a switch like that? Okay, like on Thursdays, everybody's feeling frazzled. Like Thursdays are kind of hard. So maybe we need to make that like add in a different intentionality to that. These are just examples, but this is how like energy can flow. And also with having 3 women in the house, I know Grace is like preteen, like there's the cycles and all that. You want to pay attention to that because you can actually help create a schedule that supports that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, with 3 girls in the house, it is intense. It is intense for sure.
It was intense. Yeah, me, my mom, my sister used to fight all the time, and then we'd all be on our period in the same week, and it was just
A lot. How's your sister doing, by the way?
She's doing okay. I mean, I've been trying to get her a job as a DMer. I've been like every link I see, I've been sending her so she can like start to make some money. Her baby's not sleeping at all. He's like regress, whatever that is, sleep regression.
Is he 4 months old?
5.
It's about right.
Yeah, she's like,
they do that. They do that like between 4 and 6 months. They do that.
Yeah, she's like, I'm dying. She like sets him down and he screams. He only will sleep in her arms and like, she's like, I'm dying.
Yeah, it's hard.
I know. I'm like, I'm so sorry. But do you have any questions on this?
No, I'm excited about it.
Okay, you feel good about like kind of the adjustments?
Great. I feel great about it.
Okay. And I know they're small, but it's like these small little tweaks that make a biggest difference, especially like changing up your workouts and really making sure there's a hard stop time. Because of that pressure center you have, having that hard stop time is like using your energy to your advantage. If you know in your head, like, we are done at 5, like that means I got to get everything done by 5. Then you as a generator, you have all this energy throughout the day. The way to make you feel the most satisfied at the end of the day is to feel like you got a bunch of it out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, dude. Another struggle is like with my DMer who's amazing and booking calls for me. It's like, can you, because we work with nurses, so oftentimes we're taking calls at like 7 p.m., unfortunately. But it's just like part of the deal. I don't know that I can avoid it. It doesn't happen a ton, but it does happen sometimes. And I feel like I have to like break the rule for that every now and again.
Okay. When do you usually take your sales calls?
They're sprinkled everywhere, man. They're sprinkled everywhere. I like to take them. It's not uncommon to take them at like 9, 10, 11, 12.
At night?
No, during the daytime.
Oh, on any specific days?
No, I mean, just totally depends on what rotation that nurse is on in particular. And they're like, oh, well, my next day off is on Tuesday, or my next day off is on Thursday, whatever it is. I don't cancel student calls to get them in, but I will take them on Tuesdays and Thursdays if I have to. It's everywhere. Like I wish that there was like or I've taken them on the weekends as well.
Okay. Um, okay. What I'm gonna have you do, because you're gonna have this, I'm gonna send this to you. And what you can write on this, that's why there's these extra columns. I'm gonna have you write down like and I'm gonna send you a list of all your homework and like give you a whole thing in WhatsApp all about this, but I'm gonna have you any notes, you can text them to me, like that's totally fine. I'll update this for you as well. But if you want to also go in and be like, okay, like for the last 2 weeks, it was mostly I was getting sales calls. They were here and they were here. You can mark it for me. That way it gives me like kind of can pick up some of the patterns of it. As well as if you're like, this sucks, hated this, like you can just update all of that. And that will help with like the next our little like mini session where we make an edit. What was the other thing I was going to tell you? Oh, you can also just text me. Like I have I have a client, her name's Jalen. She's like a little chinchilla. She's just like messages me all the time. So you can do that too.
Okay. Do you prefer WhatsApp or are you in a hard text?
Oh, WhatsApp's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get our next call scheduled. Okay, so probably we'll wait till after Christmas.
Please, yes. What do you think about like the first week of the year?
Yeah, what day would you prefer?
Can we do a Thursday again? How about Thursday the 4th?
Yeah, would you like, I could do like 10 a.m. your time. Would you like, I mean, I can do.
Yeah, let's do 10 a.m. That's great. 10 a.m. CST. That'd be great. Dude, yeah, in a perfect world, like I also have these like passions and things that I want to work on and do. Like I want to be more efficient with my time so that I can have like designated time for creative writing.
Ooh.
I desperately like in my mind, see this cup? Can you read this? Like I know that I'm a writer. It's like who I am as a human. But I've gotten away from that so bad. And I also know for sure that I want to spend more time in my garden and have like intentional blocked out space for that. So I'll be working on that for like where that can fit in as well. Cause I feel like that's like untapped potential and untapped passions that I want to work towards.
No, let's do it. You deserve to have that time. And also when you are doing the things that light you up, like you just said, I know in my heart that I'm meant to write. Like that means like we got to figure out a way to make that happen because of who you are. The more you're doing things that aren't that feeling, you're going to constantly feel like your light is being dimmed and that you're not showing up the way that you would like to. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Tell me about herbalism school, dude. I'm so excited for you. Are you screaming?
Oh my God. Like, so when I get excited, I get this like my forearms do this like tingly thing. And that's when I know that's how I'm like, I know this makes the most sense. I'm so excited. They're like, it's from January to August. So it's 8 months for the first piece. There's three like chunks you have to go through to be a clinical herbalist, but it's gonna be so fun. I
I'm blown away right now. What do you say? A clinical herbalist?
like
What does that even mean?
it's basically like a doctor of herbalism. Like basically I could prescribe like drink this, have this tincture, do this thing. Like I can like literally like I could work at an
Emily.
apothecary if I wanted to, but I don't want to work at apothecary. I want to like do my own thing online and like do sessions and then be like, take this, have this, because I don't want to make products myself. I
No
just want
way.
to do the like, hey, you need this kind of thing. So, and they have a whole section on energetic herbalism. And I've been reading about energetic herbalism for the past year. And it's like, I just feel like I could tie it in so perfectly with human design of like, you're feeling this, like, okay, your not self is frustration. So if you feel blocked energy, like you feel like this, like pent up, like this, like
Oh, for sure.
that,
Pressure. It's pressure for me.
yeah, like you can't get it out. That means like something's out of alignment, but you can also match that energetically with herbs to help support it. So if you're like, I feel that in my chest, I could, and you're like, but I'm like, okay, is it lung or heart? And then is it like, do you feel like it's wet or cold? Do you feel like it's this? I could like prescribe like herbal medicine to you for it.
I'm blown away by you, Emily Roughton Williams. I'm blown away by you. What are you saying right now? You're going to be a clinical witch, is what you are. It's incredible.
Don't tell Austin. I mean, he knows I'm being an herbalism, but he'd be like, you're not a witch. But yeah, it's like witchy. It's just so cool.
In the classical, like in the classical sense of the thing, I mean, you're pretty freaking witchy. If you when they look at this, it's like, I mean, were they evil though? That's go back to that. Like, were they evil? They used tinctures and potions and herbs and medicines that they grew and animal things and intentionality, and you could even incorporate like energy work. That is quite literally the textbook of like what an actual like druid elf witch is,
And I
right?
just want to like heal people. That's all I want to do. I just want to
Of
heal
course.
people, but I never wanted to be in like a doctor or anything. But this just feels so good. And then I was like, okay, so then after that, I'm going to try to get Reiki certified so you could do like all of it together. It would just be so amazing.
Explain to me like in Zoom Reiki.
I don't know how people do Zoom Reiki, to be honest. I would have to do it in person,
It's a
but
little far-fetched, don't you think?
yeah, I think that's kind of bullshit.
Okay. I wasn't
But
gonna say that.
I think so. I agree. And like that I want to host retreats. So I like could do that in that part in person.
That's so fucking cool, Emily.
Hey,
That's so cool. I love it. I can feel it too. It's like, oh, she's meant for this.
thanks. That means a lot. I have a student call, so I have to hop off. But I did want to say, I was so nervous to do your reading today because I just wanted to do a really good job and I didn't know how you would feel about it. So it just means a lot that you loved it.
I'm so impressed. No, 10 out of 10. Where's the survey? Send me the link. Give me your Google review. I'll do it right now. I'm gonna post about it on my stories. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Flying colors. They're incredible.
Well, I'm going to send you a Loom and I'm going to blow up your WhatsApp chat. So don't feel pressure to respond at any point in time. It's just go through it at your own pace and I'll give you your like action items and then we'll go from there.
Amazing. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.